Why do you have a landfall creature in this deck, though? Why do you have something so big that does something so meaningless in a deck like this? You know what I mean? Oh, I knew I was going to catch you with your pants down, and I did it. No transmogrify today. What's up, everybody? My name's Chance. Today we're diving into Kenan's Revenge. That's right, Kenan Bonder Prodigy. What is this card? Some of you may never have seen it. It's the mythic rare that you probably don't want to spend wild cards on, but it's the one we're focusing on today because it's the one you may have gotten out of packs and you probably want to see how it's used. Am I right? There's a cool stingray in the background, a weird little elk creature, some big tortoise thing that it's riding on. What's not to love about this card? Now, when it first dropped, everyone was like, ooh, mana, but it doesn't live that long thanks to bone crushers and all that other kind of removal. But when it does live, it does have the potential of giving you huge amounts of mana, and that's what we're going to be focusing on today. And we're actually going to be using it in a way that I don't think's really been done before. So whenever you tap a non-land permanent for mana, add 1 mana of any type that permanent produced. We're going to be using this to ramp into our top end, and then we have other special things that we have planned for up there. Furthermore, you can pay 7 mana, look at the top 5 cards of your library. You may put a non-human creature card from among them onto the battlefield, put the rest onto the bottom of your library in a random order. Now, this is going to help us with our other fanciful card in this deck, and that's going to be a Ashaya, Soul of the Wild. Now, I know your first thought is, Chance, these are kind of an combo. If we read Ashaya, it says its power and toughness are each equal to the number of lands you control, which are cool, right? Really big creature. Furthermore, it says non-token creatures you control are forest lands in addition to their other types. So it makes all of your creatures into lands, which, yes, means that Kenan won't be gaining double mana off of them tapping. It means you'll be gaining mana off them tapping just innately, so that's kind of good, as you'll be able to ramp up. A lot of people have this misconception: when you drop Ashaya, you're playing 5 mana and you're not really doing anything, but you are, right? Especially if you have things like Mystical Dispute and Neutralize still available, or things like Fight as One, where you can still give your creatures protection, right? Selfless Savior is another good example, as well as Owslid. So Ashaya in this deck is essentially going to come down, and then we're still going to have defenses. We're going to leave a little bit of mana back, you know, a little bit of colored mana back, blue mana, white mana, whatever it may be, right? Heliod's Intervention is a really good key card in this deck that I think not enough decks, especially in best of one, are paying attention to. 2 solo white mana and then X, and you get to choose one. Destroy X target artifacts and or enchantments, which is very strong up against the right opponent. Or target player gains twice X life, which again up against any aggro deck is fantastic. So fantastic card there. We have a lot of things that we're going to be sinking our mana into. We also have Gadwick the Wizened Human Wizard, that is. 3 mana and X. Whenever Gadwick enters battlefield, draw X cards. So of course we sink a lot of mana into this. Then we're going to be drawing our decks. We'll have a lot of removal and answer spells, because that's kind of what this deck is. It's like a control deck within a Bant Ramp deck, which isn't really seen nowadays since, you know, Euro and all that kind of stuff got taken care of, aka banned. We're still going to make it happen. So furthermore, whenever you cast a blue spell, you're going to tap and target non-land permanent an opponent controls. So this is obviously very good as well. You can tap their creatures, tap their artifacts that they may want to tap, whatever, right? Next up, we have Ondu Inversion, which is the other really cool interaction with the Ashaya here. Now, the way Ondu Inversion works, it's either a land or it's a really cool spell. 8 mana sorcery, destroy all non-land permanents. Read that real careful, real hard. All non-land permanents. Ashaya turns all of your creatures, all your non-token creatures at least, into lands. So you guessed it, it's a one-sided board wipe. Is it costly? Sure, but you know, it works. So the plan here, we use Kenan, we ramp up using Wolf Willow and Gilded Goose. We get down the Ashaya rather early. We have protection, mystical, neutralize, you know, fight as one, that kind of stuff. Keep the Ashaya alive. Then with the Ashaya, all of our creatures now tap for mana, so we have mana through that means. We have Great Henge to give us additional mana as well. Of course, Kenan adds to that mana as well. Also allows us to draw cards off the back of our creatures. Ashaya will make it cost a lot less. And another cool thing is Kenan, with that 7 mana ability, if you don't have Ashaya already on the field, but you have all this other sort of ramp, can just pay and go looking for the Ashaya, as it is a non-human creature. Also, you can find the Skyclave, which is nice whenever you need that additional removal, right? So let's see what else. We have Primal Might, which is going to be your another coup de grace finisher, right? You have Gadwick, which allows you to get very high in card advantage, and that's how you win with him. You have Primal Might, which allows you to just literally remove an opponent's creature, and even with your Goose, finish them out. You have a Shia, which is just a really big creature, which can continuously pound down their face, right? And then you have Great Hinge again, which gives you card advantage. You have Emeria's Call, which can give you the flyers. So your way to finish them out is just with big damage, right? But you have this control deck, you have this ramp ability that not a lot of people are used to, and we're basically testing, can Kennen come back? And I'm gonna go ahead and tell you now, yes, Kennen gets his revenge today, ladies and gentlemen. So make sure you're watching all the way through to see the epicness, to make sure you're joining Kennen on his adventures and his triumph and his return, or I guess first steps into glory, right? If you enjoy the content, please be sure to hit that subscribe button right down below. Hit that bell icon that pops out afterwards so you can get the latest and greatest decks as soon as they drop. Make sure you're hitting the like if you enjoy the video, comment if you have anything you'd like to say, and without further ado, let's dive into the magic. Anyways, Marimo, see how you feeling, bro? We get to go first. We got the Kennen and more tap lands. That's all right. We do have a lot of tap lands in the deck because we have the temples and a lot of the. I want to keep this, but we also don't have the ramp we need to actually make this profitable right now. So we got to look for something else, you know, something a little better. But yeah, we don't have any pathways in green blue. We don't have any pathways in white blue yet. So it's where the qualms come in. Gilded Goose. Gilded Goose is good with the Kennen. That we can proc. So we'll drop Kennen next turn. We do have Fight as one to protect him. Depending. Birth of Melitus, Shadow Spear. What are you playing, punk? Don't really want to use Skyclave. I would love to leave some blue mana for Kennen, but unfortunately we drew into a plains, not something else. But we do have mana for Fight as one, so I guess I can't complain too hard, right? The wall is not a big concern for us. I'll be happy when I can have Mystical Dispute mana readily available. Let's see, we already have the double white and green. I think we go for more green. We do need triple blue if we draw into what's his face? Gadwick. But that's a single card, right? A single card with which we just drew. Alright, that's fine. So let's grab some blue mana. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. We can drop Goose and Skyclave here if we want. Just take out their Myriad. Or we could drop Skyclave, leave mana for Mystical in case. Or not their Skyclave, sorry, their Myriad. We could take their Skyclave Relic, actually. I really want to drop this. If they have a Shatter, though, Mystical Dispute can't defend us anyway. So yeah, let's commit more to the board. Let's play right into that Shatter, huh? Take their creature and then let it happen. Please don't actually shatter the skies. Forewarning, I am not looking for them to shatter my skies, but I just know it's a common turn 4 play. Solemn, hey, happy to see it. We couldn't have countered that with Mystical either, so we made the right play there. We did good. We did good. Alright, how much mana do we have here? Because Goose can tap for 2, and then we have 4 over there, so we technically have 6. Which could be, you know, Gadwick draw 3. That's not too shabby. Or we could tap Goose for 2, tap all of our... or tap some of our blue and leave mana for a Mystical. Alright. Let's go blue. Sack you. Blue, white. It's only going to draw us 1 card. Yeah, let's do it. Let's draw 2. Do it, and then we'll still have Mystical Dispute and Fight as one available by leaving that temple up, right? Selfless and a Neutralize. Interesting, interesting, interesting. We're not going to attack here. Alright, Marimo. What you got, bro? Lithiform engine. Hey, we can't counter that. Boy, I wish I could. They're playing so many artifacts. Maybe I should just start leaving the hard 3 mana up for mystical. I'm really not seeing any blue. They had the Emeria, but I think that was more so just to play into what they have here, right? So there's the Ashaya, but we don't have the mana we need right now. We could use Goose to create some. Because I'll also drop Selfless, but we don't really need Selfless. I think we're just going back to their turn. We can swing it with Gadwick. They're going to block with the wall. If we swing it with the other stuff, they're just going to trade out with the Solemn. Of course, I do have another Kinnan I can drop. I think we just go no attacks, back to them, leave the counter magic up, look for a land for the Ashaya, right? Then we can start tapping our creatures for lands, and that'll be really good for us. As long as we have creatures untapped, then we'll have counter magic available, right? That's kind of the idea of the deck is once you get Ashaya down, I feel like a lot of people don't count into the fact that you didn't untap all your lands, but you kind of did too, right? You kind of did. So go neutralize, so we have the mana for the Mystical Dispute as well. We could also use Fight as one just to protect some stuff, but I'd rather prefer the neutralize. Oh, they're just gonna copy it, right, with Lithiform. I can't like still counter it, can I? I guess I'll have to use this then. All right. Let's go Gadwick because we don't have another, and Skyclave here. Druidus and Mystical Dispute, not too shabby. Not too shabby. They also use 6 mana to do that, which they did get a counter spell out of us, but we still got where we were going, so whatever. We don't have double green, which is so soul-wrenching to see, honestly, here. I think we just drop the Pooch, keep the mana for the Mystical Dispute. It didn't rhyme, but I was trying to force it to. Alright, so I'll attack. We're at least getting in for 5 here, right? Still have our counter magic available, which they do have Lithiform engine, so we'll have to be a little wary of that. Fae of Wishes. I guess we tap that. It's just additional mana, and I don't think that they will necessarily so resolve that. Oh, so if we counter it after the Lithiform engine is procced, then we counter the whole thing. That's really good. Oh, and Maribo's gonna scoop the shame scoop. Kennen has his revenge, taking him down. Alejandro, as the song would go, right? 2 Kennens off the bat? No. I need 1 Kennen and then some ramp. This is also a little bit of a no because this is too much of a high end, but you can't just say no to everything, so we'll keep it. We'll see where we end up, right? Let's get rid of the neutralize. Mystical Dispute's easier to... Although we can cycle this one. I've made my choices. So we are going to grab some blue mana with this Fabled, but we're not going to do that till the opponent's turn. We don't want to scare him yet. I want to scare him, just not yet. Okay, well, they obviously don't have any place. No 1 mana plays from green, though, is good. Usually you see a Love Struck Beast or something along those lines. I'm going to go ahead and play out all my tap lands here because it just makes sense, right? We're not building to anything, not yet currently. Castle Vantress, sure. That gives us neutralized mana, so I'm not going to be too opposed to the idea of that. Now, the idea for our Great Henge wasn't to have a big creature and reduce the cost, but rather increase... I don't think you counter a Dryad, but rather increase our mana to drop it, right? So, might be a little difficult, but we'll see. We'll see. You let this stuff happen. Hey, Wolf Willow. Ye Olden Haven. It's going to cost us 2 mana, which means I really need to put it on something like this, so it's going to tap that. Hold up. Tap, you, there. Now we can still use neutralize, right? Always make sure you're checking that stuff. Man, have I lost a number of games due to just not manually tapping before I go to play something. The game's like, oh, did you mean this? And you're like, no. Harbinger is a hard counter. That thing's really good. It draws them into other creatures. You just don't want one of those loose. Hexproof from black, not that that concerns us, does it? No, we're just a Bant deck today. Okay. I just feel like every time I go up against a Harbinger, I'm like, oh, well, how coincidental. I'm in the exact color scheme that you don't need. So we already have the double green, actually, from the Wolf Willow over here. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 mana with the Goose. No! Ramp? What kind of silly deck are you playing, man? I need additional white mana so we can undo come time. We need 8 mana. What I was trying to get at is that we were getting very close to that point. Cultivate. You're just building a lot of mana up for no reason. Alright, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is what we were at. If I drop undo, then we are at 7, but I don't like the idea of that because we're 2 mana away from just being able to obliterate their Dryad, you know, ridiculously for no reason. 8 mana destroy a Dryad. Yeah, why not? Can't do that. We also can't do this, right? Yeah. So what are you holding up on there, game? And Emeria's Call. How much mana did I say we were at? 6. We're 1 mana off from Emeria's Call as well. So it's like, do I want to undo or do I want to call? I mean, obviously the call is better. I'm not gonna kid ourselves there. I would love to play undo inversion with the Ashaya because it's one of our key, I wouldn't say cool combo or key combos, but I would say cool combos. I said that completely backwards. But dropping the Angels will drop the cost of the Great Henge, which means we might be able to get it down, and then, you know, we can go from there. When do creators get to do the pre-release event? You know, I don't know if I'm allowed to talk about that right now. So if they swing in with Dryad, we still can't use castle or either of our castles actually because we don't have the double white or the double blue required there. So we can gain some life, you know, eat the food. I think I'm going to actually because why not? You know, we just have additional mana left over right now. Ashaya, hey, Ashayo, how you doing? So we drop Ashaya. You know what? No, I want the Angels first. I think. I know we lose the indestructibility of on the Ashaya, but I think this is better. Hear me out. Means when we drop the Ashaya and it turns these into land creatures, the Great Henge cost will go down to 2 instead of just 3. So we should be able to immediately play it that turn if we want. Alejandro, they're scooping it out. This was just a wet noodle fight. Anyways, Trivium Sword. Trivium. I feel like I've heard that before, but maybe not. You know what? Drawing that land makes me feel so much better about just going straight into the Goose. I was very questionable. I was like, man, I don't want to play the Goose or the Temple first, but you know, it just sort of solved itself there. We got the Wolf Willow available on the next turn. I think we do go ahead and play the Branch Loft down as some white mana. Or we just play a plain. Hey, sure. Yeah, I don't think a Selfless is worth our goose food there. Goose food. Why does that sound so appealing to say? So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 mana right now. We do have blue if we use the Goose. I would like to get down this Temple though, so we have like an actual source of blue. Outlet of Life's Bounty, sure, we can play that later. Now I can drop Selfless here, but it makes it to where we can't actually use Mystical Dispute if they cast a non-blue spell. So I think we just hold it back. You gotta resolve that, right? There's no way that's worth your dispute. A Yorion later on that's gonna bounce it all? Sure. But an Omen of the Sun that you can actually already block one of the creatures? Yeah, no. You know, like, they gain 2 life, they deal 1 damage per turn as it stands right now. That's not not that big of a deal. So we do already have the double white mana for the Ondu. We don't have triple white mana for the Emiria's Call. We do also already have double green with Wolf Willow. Let's drop the triple white, I mean. And then we can draw Owslid. I guess it doesn't really matter. Owslid, selfless, Owslid. We can also drop you, actually, can't we? And then still have mana for the Mystical Dispute. Without them really knowing. I think that's a go. I think our selfless is a go-go. Oh, you know what? I should have tapped the goose last turn for an additional food. I could have done that, right? Yeah, I just miss these things sometimes. How much does Wolf Willow cost? 5? And we get to create a 2/2? I don't think that's necessarily worth it right now. So we're at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 mana. Ondu could be 7, but we'll see. Transmogrify. How about no? Have y'all seen that credit card commercial yet? How about no? No, 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 no. And they just go on saying it over and over and over again. They're not even attacking. They're like, my 1/1s are too valuable. So that puts us to 7. We still have fight as 1 mana. We can still create food with the goose. But hey, getting rid of that Transmogrify. Whew, go us. Forbidden Friendship. Now that we know also what kind of deck it is, we shouldn't be too worried. They might overrun us with tokens realistically, right? But that's just part of the thing. We could use fight as 1, but we don't have a human down, so I don't really want to. I don't want to waste that. More land. That is an Ondu, right? No? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Did I not use goose again? Damn it. Chance, use your goose, create the food. I got such a bad habit of this. I just forget those little tiny details at the end, you know what I mean? Cultivate. Yeah. Yes, very nice. I like the art on Cultivate. It's simple, you know. It's not trying too hard, but it's a nice, like, pleasant card to see. You like to see it. It's not abrupt to the vision or anything. All right, so they are beating us down with tokens here, just a little bit. I could also scry the Castle of Vantress, but I think I'm gonna create the food. Can I still scry? I can still scry. We can do so much. Castle Ardenvale. Well, that does allow us to create tokens, which, you know, not necessarily a bad thing, given that's exactly where our opponent is. But I think we should keep going. The Neutralize is nice. Is it worth drawing off the top? I think so. Up against the Transmogrify deck, I mean, it's hard to see why not. So at this point, we are waiting for the Ashaya, which will turn everything into creatures, and then we can undo inversion, wipe their side of the board, leave our side of the board alone, right? We can use undo whenever we want to, really, but, you know, if I'm gonna have a combo in the deck, y'all know me, I'm going for that combo. What's at risk? You know, a few minutes of my day, a couple bad puns, you know. Y'all were gonna get that stuff anyways. Yeah, we're gonna get that stuff anyway. So we're going down to 11. I'm not scared. No qualms here. Create me that food goose. That goose food. And then we will scry. Scry away. Transmogrify is an instant, right? It's sorcery speed. Omen of the Sun. Okay, whatever. I wasn't not gonna counter that anyways. So resolve. Glass Casket and Primal Might. Primal Might's for the coup de grace, so to speak, whenever we have all the mana that we could ever possibly want. Glass Casket's just not big enough, so, or wide enough rather. We might have to just undo here. Undo the inversion. Yeah, let's do it. Ooh, whoa, 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 whoa. Now let's do it. Keep that goose alive, am I right? It's all about the goose. It's nice. These geese, they're kind of like cockroaches. They can survive anything. Oh, super good timing, kind of. You know, if that came down, they would have for sure had victory there. Granted, we weren't able to counter it, so there's that. And the goose is now a 3/3, so that's kind of good. We can use fight as 1, build it up a little bit. Build it up a little bit. So we can still use this, still use fight as 1. Alright. Luca. How about no? Yeah, how about no? Sorry, but you know, it's along the same lines of Transmogrify. I just can't let it happen. Block the Archon, we're not taking it out. If I block one of these, we are taking it out. I'm taking a little bit more damage, but that's worth it. Alright, down to 4 life. Holding on by a prayer. By a single... No! Alright. That's fine. You know, we can still come back from this. I believe in us. Get these pesky lands out of here. Activate this. Oh, activate my trap card. So now we can block both the one on the ground and the one in the skies, and we also still have a little bit of counter magic, which they have enough mana at this point that it's gonna be hard for us to really counter anything, but you know, we can always try. We can always try. Let's go, Trivium Sword. Show me. That was gonna sound dirty. I was gonna say show me your sword, but that's only something you say to your significant other when you're role playing, right? So we can't even counter this because they can just straight up pay for it. But on the bright side, it only comes out as a 3/3, so yeah, you know, it's not really even that bad. Why do you have a landfall creature in this deck, though? Why do you have something so big that does something so meaningless in a deck like this? You know what I mean? Oh, I knew I was going to catch you with your pants down, and I did it. No Transmogrify today. Alright, give me another undo. Let me wipe everything. Undo, undo. Cannon. That's no good. Alright, GG. GG, Trivium. You got me. Chilling, K. Sounds like somebody with a serious attitude problem. I'm chilling, K. Leave me alone, Mom. We're gonna keep this hand. We're incredibly low on land, but that's why we got the Goose. That's why we got the Wolf Willow, right? We don't have any white mana, but you know, we have the Kinnan on top of the little Luce Goose that could do it. I'm keeping the Ondoing version out of hope mostly. I don't really plan on playing it down as white mana, but we can if push comes to shove. Somebody starts pushing this down, I'll definitely start shoving. I don't think we just outright play the Kinnan, right? Like, we play the Wolf Willow, then we can play the Kinnan and then have more mana off of the Wolf Willow, right? Or I just play Goose here. If I play Goose and they do play blue mana and then they play a blue mana spell, I can... No, we just play Wolf Willow. We could have had mana for Mystical Dispute, per se, per chance, right? If they're playing Sultai, but it's a big if. Ifs and buts and candies and nuts, you know what they say about Merry Christmases. Alright, so play you. Or no, I wouldn't, rather I wouldn't want to play you, would I? I think I definitely want to play Goose first. We could also play Kinnan. Maybe they remove Goose here and then I follow it up with a Kinnan. Let's see. No, nothing. I really don't want to play the Kinnan because we won't have the mana for the fight as one quite yet. Alright. Destroy my Goose if you need to. If that's what you feel like you gotta do. There it is. Alright. Well, happy I didn't play Kinnan then. For sure, for sure. So what is the opponent playing then? If I do play Kinnan down, we'll have just that mana remaining. I need another... Well, yeah. I was just about to say, I need another land. Cool beans. Came in right in time. And a good one too, because that gives us access to Fight as One, gives us access to the Mystical Dispute. Which one do I want to use now? I mean, I guess Fight as One is technically better. but they also can't pay for Mystical Dispute, and I'd rather use this while they're paying, while they can't afford. Of course, they might turn around and just use another removal spell. I guess I didn't think about that. Of course, if I use Fight as one, they could also just turn around and use another, yeah. You know, when I see 3 removal spells in my starter hand, I'm like, oh boy, that's a keeper. That is a keeper. Okay. So you got anything in that deck that's I don't know, actually, you know, allows you to win or do anything other than just sit there? Do I go ahead and activate Wolf Will? I don't think so. They took out our first cannon, but we can still use our Castle of Vantress to try and get to our next cannon, right? We're at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 mana as is, which still kind of nice, right? 6 mana, that's 2 away from undo. Then we can undo their giant, get it? Like undo. Oh, it's still little terrible jokes that y'all come here for, isn't it? Anyways, let's scry it up. Hey, another Kinnan. And a Selfless Savior. Do I want the Selfless Savior? Or no? Nah, I want the Ashaya. I've been looking for this combo for like 10 years now, you know? You know what I mean? We still only have 1 green mana. I did play down the Boulder Loft as white. That one's on me. Alright, in turn. But now this means that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, if we can hit 1 more land that is undo mana available. They're gonna go for the removal. I don't Chilling, it's okay. Whatever deck you had problems with in the past, you know, it's alright. They might go for 2 forms of removal here, right? Heartless Act and something else. Let's see if we can protect our boy here. How's that wasted 5 mana feel? Is that something you like having in your day? Chilling K? They're like, bastard. Oh, baby, it's the Ashaya. We don't have any way to protect these things once we get this card down. But y'all know how happy I am right now? Do you actually know how freaking happy I am? We could have attacked there, I know, but... Now we just need, you know, everything we've played to get to this point. The counter magic, the protection, that kind of stuff. Because Chilling K, Lord knows it's only going to be a matter of time before they do that. So odd, yeah. They're not even here to play Magic. They're just here to make sure you don't play Magic. Their only win con is that Beanstalk Giant and the Shadow Spear. Oh boy. Oh boy. Alright. Oh, we can proc you. We can proc Kinnan now. Well. Can we do that at instant speed or is it only sorcery? Let me see, what does it say? The top 5 cards you may put a non-human on it, put the rest in. We can do that in speed. Howdy doody. Let's do it. We could also use Castle Vantress, but let's be real, proccing Kinnan is more appetizing than using a freaking what's it called, right? So let's do this. Hey, look at that. Free Ashaya. Oh, this is about to be so beautiful. For us, not for them, right? This is really more of a personal gain kind of thing. Whoopsie. See what I did there? Like the old Mortal Kombat character that would pop out on the screen. It was never fast enough to click the buttons that you needed to click. And they may also just immediately remove the Ashaya here. Okay, I might have a short-lived victory. But I'll take a short-lived victory over no victory, you know? It's like that old saying, it's better to have loved and to have lost than to have never loved at all. So, you know, the problem with that Scourge play? It's just so easily dealable. Goodbye, Chilling K. You're getting everything you deserve here. I don't feel a single bit of regret or remorse for picking up that victory, by the way. Hell yeah. Getting his revenge again. So that's actually 2 victories. I will happily take that.